Hi, Ohana Online, welcome. Welcome to the latest edition of Skills and Drills. Our online community is the most important thing that we can possibly support, and we hope to provide these types of alignment tutorials, alignment videos, so you can feel really strong, supported, and intentional in your practice. So today we break down Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, we break down extended side angle as well. And hopefully we can do this from the lens of finding out what works for your own body because every single one of us is totally different. So we'll take a little bit of an Ashtanga perspective of this posture. Devin, I'd love for you to stand facing the camera. Could you walk your feet out wide to the sides? Yep, both the toes point straight forward right now. Okay, so right now we're just feeling into the body and seeing how far the width is between her heels, and then noticing what that feels like in her feet. We'll start with Warrior 2. So you can take your hands straight out to the sides and turn your right toes forward towards the front edge of your mat. Then you can bend your right knee. Okay, so let's first talk about foundation alignment. What we're looking to create is a link between the right heel and the inner edge of the back foot. All right, so this line, if you traced on your mat from your front heel all the way to the inner arch of your back foot, they should intersect. And then for those of you that have a really high arch in the front of your foot, you'll just continue to sink down into the toe pad, the ball of the foot on that side. What we really want to make sure is that the knee is tracking towards the second or third toe. So if your knee is shearing in towards the big toe mound, what can you do to bring it back right over the inner edge of both ankles and over the second and third toe? And then we have this beautiful 90-degree alignment from her front ankles to her front knee. Okay, this probably requires some calf activation, so feel free to turn on the front calf, and it's almost like you're pressing it forward into the shin bone. And what that will help do is stabilize the front knee. Then from there, we have a long thigh, and it just sort of sinks in, ratchets in towards the hip crease. And that's a really good thing. You can create some glute activation from here. So it's like you squeeze the back of the front glute, and that helps spin the front thigh bone away from the center of the body. So it's externally rotating. Devin, just for a moment, will you turn the knee in? That's an internal rotation, and then turn the knee out. External rotation. This is where we want it, all right? We want the knee tracking over the second and third front toe. We want your knee right on top of both of the ankle bones, and we want your front right glute to be super strong, so it's helping anchor the pelvis in. From there, the back leg is long and extended. For those of you that have hypermobility, if you have hyperextended knees, you may want just a little bit of softness in the back knee. But if you don't have that type of bigger range of motion in the legs, then you can get really strong through the back thigh. And it's okay to have a straight leg, but you really have to cue in to what your body is like and how you can adapt, how you can create a slightly different modification to make it really resonate in your own body. Back foot, you can press down completely through the heel. It's like you're trying to mush the heel pad into the floor. And same thing here, you still want the ball of the foot to be grounded, but it's almost like you can lift up the back inner ankle bone, and it's like you want to lift it up towards the inner thigh. So there's a huge activation that happens all the way through the inner leg, up and towards the pelvis. All right, and then from that place, it's really just about you and about your pelvis position. What I'd love to offer is hands to hips. Okay? For some of you that have a pelvis that naturally tilts forward, your belly gets really big, your chest opens up, you'll want to think about using the glutes to press the pubic bone slightly forward. For those of you that have a pelvis that naturally tilts back, then it's almost a sensation of lifting the rib cage off the side bodies to create more of a neutral pelvis. So feel free to take your hands to your hips. You can rock your pelvis forward and back if that gives you more of an awareness of where your pelvis generally lands in this position. Once you feel the forward, once you feel the back, let it arrive in neutral, okay? The front glute is strong, it's solid. The back glute is helping to move just a little tiny bit of the pubic bone slightly forward. Then from there, you can take your hands back out. Cool. Gaze is totally up to you. Doesn't matter if you look straight forward in front of your chest. Doesn't matter if you look straight forward in front of the front fingers. This is the more traditional Ashtanga approach, looking forward at the front fingertips, but You do you. I mean, we've got a yoga practice to really dive in deep into our bodies, and those types of details are something that you can feel into minute by minute. All right, and a ton of tension typically happens at the sides of the neck. So instead of taking your shoulder blades down, try to just ease a little bit of tension through the upper collar of the neck. Yes? And then you can really melt into it. So from this place, we can move into extended side angle. Feel free to take your right arm or forward arm towards your front thigh. Okay, and then as you start to take the chest at an angle towards the front of your space, couple options here. You can either lift your backhand straight up towards the ceiling. This is one variation of extended side angle, or you could turn the palm and reach it towards the front of the mat. In either situation, what typically happens is a little bit of a pinchiness at the front right rib cage. Okay, and so what you'll do is just lift the lowest rib up slightly and now extend longer through the spine. See from this place if you can pull the front of the ribs in and back a little bit, and the chin can follow too. Cool, and then you start to extend. So the back heel anchors, you start to extend all the way through the top of your head. Whether the hand is here, whether the hand is forward, it doesn't matter because you're diving into the long length of the spine. All right, and then same thing with the pelvis. If your pelvis naturally tilts forward and you usually feel your ribs splay open, you'll bring them in. You'll use your glutes just to notch the pubic bone slightly forward. If your pelvis naturally tilts back, then you'll want to lift your ribs from your waist even more and create some space. Right, and this is extended side angle. Devin, let's come back up to warrior two. Amazing. Front knee, tracking second and third toe. Your front knee right on top of the ankle bones. You have the thigh long, externally rotating away from center. You have your pelvis in neutral. Long line of strength, almost like you had a zipper from your outer ankle all the way up to the outside edge of your hip. All of this is going to stay into extended side angle, hinge forward towards your front leg. Yep, you choose where you want the front arm to be, you choose where you want the top arm to be, and now get even longer through the spine. And you're in extended side angle. And then if you breathe, we can actually call this yoga. Yeah? All right, come back up to warrior two. And that's it. Instant enlightenment. Warrior two, extended side angle, boom, gone. Got it. Thank you so much for joining us for this alignment series. Ohana Online, you guys are amazing. You're everything, and we appreciate you so much.